All right, let's make our butter block. It's next on our list. I have the bowl I mixed the dough in and I didn't wash it. I think it's fine to go ahead and start mixing my butter block on it, and I'm going to use the mixer to help me break this butter block up. This butter block for this puff pastry I like a lot. It's got flour added to it, and with that flour then we add a little lemon juice. What that's going to do is give extension, right? So we're looking at it, we want to use the gluten to our benefit, and that's going to make that butter block a little more extensible inside of our lamination. And the lemon juice is a gluten enhancer, so altogether it really just brings it, it makes it a little bit easier butter block to get in, and really laminates very, very well. So I have a paddle on this. I have my butter all broken up, and I've got it everywhere. So we're going to get it in here. I'm going to paddle it. I have flour and lemon juice that I'm going to add. We're using bread flour. We want to use bread flour because we want to use that gluten from that. Oh, that was tough. Let's get this in there and start paddling it around. I'm going to start adding my flour into it. I don't want to cream it, but I do want to break it down and incorporate it really well. Lemon juice in there as well. And so I want to, butter is surprisingly very flexible and very malleable. It's very, very easy to work with. It's surprising you can knead it. There's a lot you can do with it. All right, we're going to let it go around. Oop, I forgot my salt. Salt was at the bottom of my lemon juice. There I am. There you go. I'm going to let it mix around. I'm going to give it a little time. And I want to incorporate. Like I said, I'm benching with bread flour. I always have my bread flour here for laminated doughs. Scrape it. I found, especially laminating by hand, which I've done for so many years, a lot of times sheeters are not part of it. I'm going to scrape this down. We're going to make this butter block a 10 by 10, 10 inches by 10 inches square. I'm very picky about butter blocks. They need to be as beautiful as the dough and the lamination that you're working with. The size of the butter block depends on the size of the dough. A half batch of croissant is an 8-inch square. A larger batch, 10-inch. Can you change this up and do different incorporations in it? Absolutely. Okay, let's see how I look here. Pull myself off. And here it goes. Here we go. There we are. Don't leave any butter behind. It's expensive, and it's what's going to make your puff pastry. Like I said, puff pastry is leavened by the steam in the butter. The moisture in this butter is then going to rise up and create all that flake and those beautiful turnovers, cream horns. Puff pastry used for so many different items. And like I said, either in the pastry shop, and I'm going to use, I love these guys. These bowl scrapers for this work so much better for me. And this is a rubber bowl scraper used in a commercial kitchen. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bread flour down, and I'm going to knead this butter block together. I'm going to put a little bit more. Bear with me. There we are. All right, and we're going to make this butter block, like I said, a 10 by 10. I'm going to come in here, and I don't want to stick to it, but I'm going to knead it and make sure I don't have any big chunks of butter. It's surprising how I don't waste any butter, like I said. Scrape, scrape. All right, this is, I did a pretty good job. Pretty excited with it. You can see it's a really nice, even piece of butter. So I'm going to start squaring it off because I want a 10 by 10 square, so I might as well use the best tool I got, which is my hands, or my hands because there's two of them. And start squaring myself up. I use my bench knife a lot through creating a butter block. It's going to do a lot of the work for me. I want to make sure I don't stick, right? Any butter on the bench is butter lost, and I don't want that. I want that always to be part of my butter block. So here I go. I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper, which I have right here. Okay, here I am. I'm going to fold my parchment paper in half. Here's where I'm going to start to build my butter block. I'm going to drop my butter block in here. Give myself a little room there to grow. Fold it over. And then I have a dowel. And I have a brand new yardstick. Brand new yardstick. And I like these dowels. We made these dowels, pretty simple to do. Buy them at the hardware store. And I'm gonna beat my butter. And I like I said, sometimes it can be very cold if you're gonna use sheeter. We're gonna roll this by hand. So we want this dough to be a little softer. And I want it to be 10 by 10. So where am I at here? I'm gonna measure myself. So I'm 10 there. I got some room to go. You want to come in, make sure you're not sticking. You don't want to tear the parchment. If you're going to move butter to the edges, I'm just going to roll it out here. And I want to go this direction, but I want to make sure I'm filling in my corners as well. And so I like to go a little bit bigger than a 10 by 10, and then I'm going to trim myself down. Okay, let's see where I'm at. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty darn good. There I go. I'm going to pull myself off. I've got a little butter on that parchment. I'm going to make sure. All right, 10 inches right there. 10 inches right there. Let's see where I'm at here. 10 inches right there. Pretty darn spot on. I like to use my bench knife. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to take this extra butter that I went a little bit larger on, and I'm going to incorporate it as a part of the butter block. I'm going to use my bench knife to do that for me. Incorporate it. And a lot of times you can make your butter blocks ahead of time. Put them in the reach-in. You can freeze them. You can buy them if you're doing commercially. There I am. There I am. All right. Let's get this out of the way. These guys out of my way. Let's show you how to finish this butter block. And so my butter's nice and soft, which I like for my incorporation. Like temperatures, a lot of times in laminated doughs you want like temperatures. They're going to laminate better. Cold butter in a warm dough tears the dough, and you don't want that. And warm dough, I already did that. Cold dough and warm butter, that's there you go. Cold dough and warm butter, then your butter is smushy, and your doughs just need the lamination is going to be very difficult for yourself. So there I am. Move it around a little bit. Okay, I don't want to waste any of this butter. The beauty of our bench knife is, let me show you, I'm going to come here very gently because you can tear the parchment, which I do not want to do. I'm going to come in here and save that butter. A little here I want to save. In here. I know that's my 10 by 10, so I don't want to go any larger, but I'm certainly going to even up my butter block to make it a little more even. There we go. I feel like I'm a little uneven here. I can go in and clean myself up. Just incorporate that butter block in. And then what you want to do, you can store it, right? So I don't necessarily want it much colder since I'm going to laminate it by hand. It'll certainly square it up for you. So coming in and creating your nice little Christmas package of butter. Okay, and here it is. It straightens it up really well. And that is my 10 by 10 butter block that I am next going to laminate my dough with. And we're going to do our first turn, and I want you to be able to see how we're going to do that. So that's next.